Scottish Premiership.
Yeah, and he sets up in a 4-3-3 formation, a little bit of a different setup than they normally see. The midfield trio, number 10, Lewis McLeod, up front for them this year, this afternoon, so it'll be a little bit of a change.
Inaugural North American Soccer League season.
Yeah, the Rangers all in blue top, white shorts, black socks, red tops, traditional colours for the Glasgow Rangers as this crowd starts to get into this, looking for something special here from the Rangers and the Ottawa Fury tonight.
Captain Lee McCulloch has the ball, comes across the near side. Long through ball. Ottawa Fury wearing their red and white with white shorts, white socks. Onto the flank. Chipped in deep. DeBellis comes out. Omar Jaroun gets back for the Fury FC. Jaroun running out of room. Hits it down the right side, and it'll be a Rangers throw.
Well, it will be important for Kenny Miller to try and find the channels, make good runs in behind the back four of the Ottawa Fury in a situation where Chris Boyd can possibly mop up some of the scraps that are left over from Kenny Miller as he makes a run into the box.
Richie Ryan. Here's Vinny Dantas for the Fury's first attack of this friendly. Howarth tries to get it beyond the outstretched leg of Lee Wallace. Unsuccessfully. Ottawa throw.
Well, I think you've got to try and make sure you get Donatelli and Ubi Parapovic involved in this game as quickly as you can, Dan. Get the ball to feet, try and create some penetration in the back of this flat Rangers back four. McCulloch and Mosney not the most paciest of players, and if they are able to get a ball played up and over the top, we may just see them sneak in behind that back two of the Rangers defence.
Ball comes right to Cammy Bell. He'll scoop it up. And now the Rangers will go on the offensive. Bilal Mosney moves it up the left side. McLeod tried to feed that one through for Lee Wallace unsuccessfully.
And those runs for Lee Wallace down the flank on this left-hand side are crucial for Rangers in any penetration they're going to get in the back four of the Ottawa Fury tonight.
Crucial for Rangers, Gord, but crucial for the Ottawa Fury FC because other teams have yet to use that offensive attack against them. It's good for them to sort of, I suppose, be aware of how to defend that.
Yeah, if they are getting beat down the flank, they've got to make sure that the centre-back comes out and helps just a little bit, cheats more over to the outside, just so that you're creating a 2-on-1 instead of a 1v1, especially if Wallace is able to get down the flank on this left-hand side.
Papouche Maillard, and a free kick awarded the Fury FC. Actually goes out into touch, Ottawa throw. That one goes into touch, Glasgow throw.
Well, there's a few players, obviously, that anyone who follows the MLS for the Rangers here tonight has possibly seen them. Chris Boyd, who's starting tonight, Stevie Smith, who's on the bench for Rangers, both played in Portland. And then, of course, you have Kenny Miller, who had a wonderful couple of spells at Vancouver, scoring valuable goals for them. And as we see, the play's called back. Mosney has gone to ground, possibly just stretched a little bit, and got taken down. Taken out, but the free kick was given against him. Here we see the, well, he actually kicked the underside of Ubi Parapovic. Normally in that case it would go against the player who's free. Gave the 50-50 call towards the Fury, and a dangerous opportunity now. Rangers have to defend well.
Ryan off the free kick into the corner for Donatelli. Tony Donatelli for Senga, and it goes out. Was unable to keep the ball alive, and the Fury blow a good offensive opportunity.
Yeah, I think he just took his eye off the ball there. He didn't really pay much attention to what was going on in front of him, and as the ball was played out of touch, it was easily a throw-in for the Rangers. So the Rangers setting up, as we said, 4-3-3. Callum Gallagher out on the right, Kenny Miller a little bit just behind Chris Boyd, who's playing up front, trying to sit right up on the shoulder of one of the two stoppers for the Ottawa Fury, either Jaroun or Trafford here tonight. Obviously Drew Becky's out, and as we mentioned, Oliver's out as well, so I'm sure Coach Santos will use a lot of players here tonight in this international friendly that the Ottawa Fury have been able to arrange for I would say close to 7,000, 7,500 was the expectation here tonight. A wonderful crowd, a lovely evening. It was very hot this morning, 33 almost with the humidex, but it's cooled down very nicely come game time, and it's a terrific temperature for these players out there tonight on this TD.
The left side once again, looking for Kenny Miller. Miller trying to get around Frisenga for McLeod. The cross, far post. A little bit of a takedown in the area, no call. And that one will go out for a corner. And the first set piece of the evening for the Rangers FC.
Yeah, lovely little interplay down this left-hand side between Miller and McLeod. As the ball gets played through there, nice outside of the foot. McLeod left foot, he chipped to the back post. Well, Boyd appeared to go down, looking for a bit of a free kick or a penalty kick inside the box. Nothing was coming. In the end, though, it will be a corner kick for Rangers.
Rangers set up, ball is delivered directly over the head of McCulloch. Unable to make a play, and here's Papouche Maillard with a good run, but can't get up fast enough. Lee Wallace gets there first.
Yeah, and that's the danger, obviously. Rangers pushing too many men forward. They had one or two back for the corner, but once Maillard gets a chance to stretch his legs, get in behind, his touch was a little bit heavy there, obviously easy enough for Wallace to get across, as all good covering defenders would do. But a nice bright start by Rangers. Ottawa Fury have to maybe come to grips in midfield a little better, get Richie Ryan more involved. I think it took him a little while on Sunday against the Cosmos to really get things going. And once he did, sort of early, mid-second half, he really was stamping his authority on that match against the Cosmos. He'll need to be front and centre here tonight for the Ottawa Fury if they're hoping to get any result here tonight.
Referee Matthew Bordeaux ruled that it'll be a Fury FC throw. Here's Maillard off the throw. Kept alive. And again into the spectator seats. The first row.
Yeah, McGregor there coming over from St Mirren this year to play with Rangers. Aliukas, another off-season signing for Coach McCoist, manager McCoist, unable to play here tonight after picking up an injury. A few players picked up injuries in this tour. Obviously Fraser Aird, one of them, the Canadian kid that unfortunately we're unable to see. We'll hear from him at half-time. And of course Kenny Miller and Chris Boyd up front, the two strikers that McCoist brought in. So a lot of firepower in this Rangers squad on display here tonight, looking for some goals.
Frisenga in for Richie Ryan. Ryan to Ubi Parapovic. Sinisha Ubi Parapovic. Far side, there's the cross, a little too far. Mosney heads it out of harm's way, and here's Howard just catching up to it, and it will be an Ottawa throw once again. Howard gets the ball in quickly for Frisenga. Frisenga looking far post for Maillard. Couldn't quite get into position, and on the other side, Gallagher clears. The Ottawa Fury FC maintain the attack. Here's Ubi Parapovic for Maillard. Maillard for Ryan, who pinches in. Dantas trying to create some space. Vinny Dantas gets outside, drops that off, and without any support, Callum Gallagher able to scoop it up for the Glasgow Rangers FC.
Yeah, as Callum Gallagher looked to play that ball long, he realised it was only Chris Boyd up against three red and white shots. We had to pull the ball back down, and unfortunately for him, couldn't get it inside to a blue shot. But Rangers maintained possession with the throw-in.
Ryan in for Tony Donatelli for Howard. Howard almost be able to get between two Rangers defenders. Mosney for Lee Wallace. Back for Mosney. Up for McLeod. Richie Ryan intercepts. Ubi Parapovic in the midfield. Comes all the way back for Mason Trafford. Trafford far side. Gets it back. Giroud. Little late getting rid of that one. Ryan marked very, very quickly by Nicky Law, but Ottawa maintains possession. Another through ball, and here's a race for it. Papouche Maillard after it. Mosney heads it back to Cammy Bell.
Well, the way Rangers are set up right now, they started off almost in a 4-3-3 formation, but it looks like they've gone back to a 4-4-2 with McLeod out on the left, and on the right-hand side, Gallagher with Boyd and Miller up front. Miller actually was onside there. I think he thought he was offside. Boyd gets taken down, and it will be a free kick for Rangers, 10 yards deep inside the Fury half. You see Morsley just get pulled back by Maillard. An easy call for the official in the end to make.
And the injured Fury FC player, I believe it's Omar Jaroun. No, it's Mason Trafford.
Well, I mean, that's the last thing you want. You're already... Well, Ryan Richter's not here tonight. He's playing back with Toronto FC against Tottenham Hotspur tonight in a friendly down there in Toronto. Trafford, who's been an absolute stalwart all season for Mark Dos Santos and the Ottawa Fury. You can ill afford to lose a player of his stature.
In a friendly.
In a friendly, yes.
Balls it through for Senga, out of harm's way. They let that roll out, and again, another corner coming for the Rangers FC.
I don't think he realised that was going to stay in as long as it did when he initially did the header, and McCulloch was more than happy just to let it run into touch. McLeod with the Rangers' second corner kick of the evening. First one was played to the front of the 6-yard box. This one might be a little bit different tactic.
Marcel Dubellis in goal for the Fury FC. McLeod's cross, and again Maillard able to get ahead on it to clear it away. McLeod again looking into the area. Here's another opportunity, and Richie Ryan gets that out of the awaiting boots of the Rangers FC. They were ready to pounce. Jaroun can't clear. Jaroun again for Maillard. Maillard tries to get it down the flank, and finally Jaroun able to relieve the pressure, but good sustained pressure by the Rangers there. Yeah,
doing well on that second and third ball, Dan, as you said. Good pressure, making sure that the play was kept alive inside that 18-yard box. Unfortunately, just unable to get a finish.
Lee Wallace. Wallace. Lovely little one-touch pass from Miller. Wallace into the area. That one cleared away for Senga.
Well, again, lovely play down this left-hand side, though. We talked about Wallace and those overlapping runs, and that's exactly what he did there. Did well getting in advanced position. A lovely 1-2 played at the edge of the 18-yard box. The final ball just couldn't find Chris Boyd. Easily cleared away by the Fury. The Fury got to do a little bit better job now. We're just trying to find balls into midfield. Some of the balls at the back, it's just been a high, hopeful pass up front. It's finding its way to a blue shirt. They've got to just settle down, calm things down. Yes, there's another big crowd here at TD Place. Get back into your rhythm, keep possession, support each other well, and look to try and get penetration in the back of this back four of Rangers.
Dubellis getting good defensive support thus far from the back row of the Fury FC in his debut for Ottawa. Ubi Parapovic sends that through. Maillard offside.
Well, here we see an opportunity for these last two chances with the Rangers. McLeod right-footed, whips the ball into the front post area. Boyd knocks it back, and Richie Ryan gets it cleared away from the 6-yard box. Here's the 1-2 Wallace as he gets the heads up, see where it's going, drives it across the 6-yard box, easily stopped out. I believe that was Mason Trafford as he nicked away before it got to Chris Boyd. But again, this breakdown this left-hand side, the Fury have to do a good job. They've got to help out Soria down this right-hand side. Make sure they've got some numbers in defence because, for Senga down this right-hand side, because when Wallace gets to stretch his legs, it's lights out. He's got tremendous pace, tremendous power down this left-hand side.
And wonderful ball control.
Well, that's it. I mean, the technical level of all these players on display tonight, certainly on the Rangers side, but even the Ottawa Fury as well, some of those players, their first touches is a delight to watch, and it's just all about service right now, making sure you get the ball into feet. If you're an Ottawa Fury player, try to make the Rangers do some running around and make them chase the ball if you can. Unfortunately, right now, it's just not on the cards for them, but what's the time left? We're only 15 so minutes into this match, and it's been a fairly entertaining do so far. A couple of chances for the Rangers, and just nothing came to it.
McLeod goes far side for Gallagher.
Yeah, that's a terrific ball, isn't it? Just sweeps all the way to the far side, just trying to change the angle of attack. Ball up front, Boyd can't bring under control. Black does well. Loses out on the second ball.
Trafford inside for Richie Ryan, over the far side, Ramón Soria. Soria, long through ball. guessing he thought Maillard was going to go to a specific spot, but a breakdown in communication for the Fury FC. Rangers FC. Here's Wallace. Wallace working with McLeod. Lovely 1-2 pass. And here's Wallace. Nice touch in behind. Wallace, the left footer, throws that into the area, and Trafford heads it away from Maillard. Maillard to Ubi Parapovic. Richie Ryan. Soria. Ryan back into the midfield. Wall of blue sweaters back. Really making it difficult for the Fury FC to get anything going offensively right now.
Yeah, you can really see that one bank of four at the back, bank of four in the middle, and obviously Miller and Boyd up front just trying to make sure they provide an outlet for the midfielders if they can left. And Gallagher, McLeod, as we said, an out-and-out central midfielder. Gallagher a striker, but with the players of the quality that are in front of them in the starting lineup, they have to take their minutes when they can get them. And right now, McLeod's on the left and Gallagher's on the right in midfield.
Miller has the ball taken by Howard. Giroud up for Donatelli in the middle. Donatelli in that familiar position. Kind of a pivot point for the Ottawa offense. And again, Rangers FC get back quickly and force Ottawa Fury FC to rethink their immediate plan.
Yeah, they're doing a good job of closing them down. When Ottawa Fury, get the ball into centre midfield, there's 1-2 blue shirts there trying to close them down and make sure that they don't have an awful lot of options. And it's just up to Ottawa to try and unlock that. They've got to maybe look at some, if you have to come back to go forward, then so be it. But right now, far too many balls are being played back, and then that quick ball forward's not happening, or it's not finding a red and white shirt. And that just has to change a little bit as we go into the second half of this first half.
Ball goes out. Ottawa throw once again. Soria on the far side. Looking for an open man for somebody to break. Nice battle on the far side. Gallagher wins that one. Up for Chris Boyd. And again, the Fury FC just put it back to Marcel Dubellis. And Dubellis promptly sends that one into the stands, and a nice catch by the fan.
Yeah, it was, when you're under pressure like that, you've got to make sure you try and find a teammate, but when there's nothing there, hoof it into the stands, get rid of the danger, and make sure you've got a chance for your back four to get settled into their shape again.
Boyd has it go off Frisenga, and another corner awarded.
Yeah, nice play by Ian Black there. A lovely ball down the channel for Boyd to chase after it. Checked up on the turf. I think initially all three players that were going towards it may have thought that it would come out of play, but it checked up, and it was Chris Boyd playing it off a defender for this corner kick. Another corner kick for the Rangers.
The third of this very young first half. Ball's away, looking far post, off the header and away.
Yeah, I think Chris McCulloch just got on the end of that, just couldn't direct it down. Instead, straight up in the air. A nice ball whipped in. We see here by McLeod, 6-yard box. Goalkeeper doesn't come for it. McCulloch gets good height, just can't get above the ball to direct it on target.
McCulloch created some space by running 3 or 4 yards before his leap for that ball.
Yeah, you don't want McCulloch coming over the top of you, that for sure. He's a
big boy,
a solid lad, and if he is able to get a head of steam going towards you, you're in trouble.
Gallagher working against Soria. Soria forces him to the outside. Gallagher runs out of room, and it's a goal kick.
Yeah, he just seemed to be running away all the time. They did have good control of it as it went along the sideline here. Does well. At this point, he's probably going to maybe look to win the throw-in, and then finally, when he did get the head up, the end line was there to take it into touch.
Dubellis for Maillard. Darren McGregor got up ahead of the Fury FC forward. And again, Rangers on the offensive attack. Here's McLeod inside the area. Great play by Trafford. Or make that Frisenga to sweep it away and get out of harm's way. That's dangerous. when you get Lewis McLeod in with space.
Yeah, a nice play by Kenny Miller, just driving at the heart of the Ottawa Fury defence. And as Lewis McLeod, I think, was shaping up to take a shot there, it's a good tackle by Frisenga. Going to ground, had to be sure the ball was ricocheted off the shot from Lee Wallace. Another corner kick.
Number 4, far post, off the crossbar. Mosney all the way back out. Nicky Law across for Wallace. Wallace, the left foot, looking into the corner, and it goes out. Goal kick. Ottawa gets away with one there. That's a bullet dodge.
I thought that, yeah. It's a lovely corner kick at the back post there. McCulloch does well off the crossbar. And on the second attempt, as it finally came in, it came off a Rangers player, and it will be a goal kick to alleviate some of the pressure. Well, it has been the Glasgow Rangers in the ascendancy here in these last 10 minutes, as they just try to step it up a gear, take the game to the Ottawa Fury, and the Fury just, that could have been nasty.
That could have been nasty. That was definitely Stitch's material for certain. Lewis McLeod being pushed by Frisenga, and it goes out off of Frisenga. Rangers throw.
Yeah, and Lewis McLeod along with Fraser Aird, who unfortunately isn't in the lineup tonight. Barry Mackay, one of the other players that's on the bench. Just a few youth players that, with Rangers having dropped down to the third division, then the second, and then the Division 1 they've been in last year, has given them an opportunity for McCoys to get some of the youngsters in and get an opportunity for them to play and, you know, get them the experience they so badly need.
Oh, Wallace, and then the quick shot by Kenny Miller just wide of the target.
Yeah, good strike. I don't think he really caught it as sweetly as he would have hoped. He did make good contact with it, and it flashed about a foot or so wide of that left-hand post. Kind of scuffs the ground. You see some of the pellets kick up when he hit it. Didn't quite strike it cleanly, but a good effort nonetheless. A good break again down this left-hand side. Very successful so far. I just wonder if Coach DeSantos might need to ask Omar Jaroun to come across a little bit more, help out on this right-hand side of defence, because Frisenga's having a bit of a tough time trying to keep up with the pace of Wallace and the skill of McLeod down this left flank.
Ottawa captain Richie Ryan down, but back up of his own accord.
That's nice to see Ian Black and Richie Ryan giving each other a handshake, ready to move on.
Fury FC on the attack. Ubi Parapovic for Ryan. Ryan trying to set things up to the far side, and Soria moving up. Ian Black intercepting that pass. Looking for Howarth, didn't work out. And another tackle inside, and both Ian Black and Donatelli go down. Ian Black the worst.
Yeah, it was a bit heavy. A little bit heavy, and Ian Black is certainly, well, Donatelli's going to get booked for this. Like he almost just rolled right into him, and that is a sore one, especially when if you get your foot sort of stuck on the turf, you're not able to lift it up in time. You get a chance to see it here, the ball. So it's short by McGregor. Donatelli does have every right to go for it, but when Ian Black sort of turns away from him and shields the ball a little bit there, it was always going to be a nasty one, and Donatelli right away put his hand up. He realised it wasn't the cleanest of tackles, and Donatelli does take the first yellow card of this international friendly here tonight. Yeah, you can see a little bit disappointed in himself there. He knows that it wasn't the best of tackles, but
Ian Black,
it was the short pass by McGregor that really put Black under pressure and invited the challenge by Donatelli for the ball. But
Ian Black just involved with an altercation with Richie Ryan, not seconds before mixing it up a little with Donatelli.
Yeah, well, Black doesn't shy away from tackles himself. He's a hard-nosed player. He gets stuck in. Sometimes his emotions get a little bit the better of him. He has had a few red cards in his Rangers career, but as a holding midfielder, a ball winner, he's the type of in possession, get the ball forward to Law, get the ball forward to Miller or Boyd, and turn defence into attack as quickly as possible.
This is a tough evening for you, isn't it, Gord? Your allegiances are being really challenged here. Ottawa Fury FC, of course, but Glasgow, your home and native land.
Not only my home and native land, this is my home team. This is a team that I've been following for 48 of my 51 years. I remember back even as far as, there's a bit of afters there with Kenny Miller and Jaroun. There's
And Richie
Not very
Ryan
nice
in there
to see
too.
there, yes. Not very nice to see at all. We'll just try to get things sorted out. Well, Jeroen's absolutely livid about something. I'm not quite sure what exactly happened there.
And look at McCulloch right in there too.
Yeah, well, the captain just trying to calm things down. Well, this friendly's turning into a little bit of a spiced affair now. As both teams are just trying to get things settled out. As I said, I'm not 100% sure what Jeroen had done to him. He obviously felt Miller. Well, there's a little click at the heels at the back, and that's, you know, the referee obviously called the free kick, and that's fine. But I think Miller may have gone back to him, said a few things, and just told him to suck it up maybe a little bit and get on with the game. But again, you don't want to see any niggly little play develop between obviously Richie Ryan, the captain, stepping in on behalf of the Fury, Lee McCulloch stepping in behalf of Rangers, and hopefully things settle down and we're able to get back to the
They're still chatting.
international friendly that it's supposed to be.
Rangers FC break out that attack. Here's Jeroen, and Jeroen sends that into touch.
But you're exactly right, it is tough to pick. You know, Ottawa Fury obviously are my local team, and we've obviously got to support them as much as we can. But like a lot of expats, when you've got a team that you've supported all your life, you've got to make sure that when they come here, you've got to give them your full support. As it is, we're calling it right down the middle. As we see it, the Ottawa Fury giving as good as you get right now. Haven't had as many chances, and I think they've got to do a little bit better trying to control that midfield area. Ian Black's doing a good job right now of making sure he's winning most of these 50-50 balls.
Boyd for Gallagher. Gallagher trying to create some space on the outside. Papuch Maillard does a nice job of picking his pocket. Ubi Parapovic. Up for Donatelli. Donatelli with the long through ball. Can't get it past Wallace. But Howarth, with some good hustle, takes it away from him. And another free kick awarded the Rangers FC.
Yeah, we haven't really had a chance to call Howarth's name much at all. He really isn't getting the service down this right-hand side. And when a striker's not getting fed the ball, you've got to find it yourself. Come inside, come a little bit deeper, get away from your fullback, and make sure that you're forcing your teammates to get the ball to your feet.
Ball goes out. Ottawa throw for Senga. And again, Rangers FC questioning the call by referee Mathieu Bordeaux. Long throw, Donatelli going up against Bilal Mosney. That doesn't work out. Here's another chance. Miller, Kenny Miller, still with it. Had Chris Boyd with him on the left side. Miller still with it. Sets up the cross into the area. And Gallagher held up by Ramón Soria. And play continues.
Yeah, I think on that last break, both Miller and Boyd were down the left-hand channel. I think Boyd maybe needs to peel off to the inside and open it up for Miller a little bit more room. As it was, the defender really had an easy job marking the both of them.
A couple of good challenges there. Ryan and Maillard both going after Callum Gallagher.
Yeah, both of them went to ground, and in the end, I think Gallagher just came off worse for wear there as we see it. McCulloch plays the ball out wide. Gallagher does well to get away from Ryan as the ball goes into touch. Well, Maillard's right foot just catches him accidentally. I think that's what put Gallagher on the ground a little bit longer.
Soria for the Fury FC. That one off the side of his foot. And again, another Rangers FC throw. Ian Black for Mosney. Mosney across, Nicky Law. Law gets it back for Wallace on the near side. Here's Law. Great move to create some space out to the wide flank for Gallagher. Gallagher tries to hold it up. Soria on him. And that battle has been waging since the opening kickoff, Gord. Number 2 for the Fury FC, Ramón Soria. And Callum Gallagher, number 30, on that far side for Glasgow.
Yeah, I don't think Gallagher had the time that he was hoping for to bring the ball under control. A terrific ball by Nicky Law, switched over to the far side. Gallagher's got to just react a little bit quicker and make sure he either gets the ball down, gets a shot, or gets it knocked back into the danger area.
McLeod gets the return feed. McLeod's in, gets the shot away. It's tipped just wide. Kenny Miller A great opportunity for Rangers FC to get on the board here, and they have to go away unrewarded once again.
Well, the Fury are getting absolutely murdered down this left-hand side of Rangers with these lovely little triangles that they're playing. Law, McLeod, Wallace. McLeod, I'm not quite sure if this is a shot. I think he's looking to play that to the bottom-hand corner. Kenny Miller is in onside position and just can't get the right foot around it enough to direct it into goal.
Black for Wallace. Wallace with the one hop. Giroud clears it out of the area. McLeod loses that battle to Howarth, who sends Ubi Parapovic on his way. He's got Papush Maillard as well. There's the through ball. Maillard can't get there. McGregor gets there first, and Cammy Bell sends the ball away.
That was a nice break by the Ottawa Fury. 5 white shirts on the counter-attack, trying to catch the back four of Rangers flat. And the ball got played through. Dantas was in an offside position. Maillard, though, was onside. McGregor, good defensive work from the right back spot, making sure that it gets back to Cammy Bell.
Richie Ryan drops it off. Soria wide, from the wide side to the near side for Frisenga. Frisenga, Howarth, he's upended. The through ball. Frisenga grabs Lee Wallace's jersey and pulls him back. And of course, the assistant referee right there to make the call. But a substitution coming in now for the Ottawa Fury FC. It's going to be Romuald Peiser, the newest acquisition at the keeper spot for the Ottawa Fury FC, as Marcel DeBellis goes away with his first 30 minutes of clean sheet.
Yeah, and he did well. I mean, he really didn't have an awful lot as far as shot stopping to do, but on set plays as a goalkeeper, you've got to organise your defence in front of you. And they did a good enough job, Rangers, with a good period of 4 or 5 corner kicks, unable to punish the Fury with them. And I think he's had a nice little 31 minute debut for the Ottawa Fury here tonight.
Ubi Parapovic for Soria. Richie Ryan. Ryan for Maillard. And again, the Fury FC seem to be a little uncommunicative out there, Gord. They don't seem to be on the same page. They get the ball into that triangle position, and they're not breaking the way that the Rangers FC are with the lane running that they're doing.
They just seem to be that half step behind right now. Rangers are doing a good job when they lose possession of the ball, getting back, getting numbers behind the ball, and trying to force the Fury into a mistake. And as you know, we can see Chris Boyd doing a great job there, running right in the back of Richie Ryan, trying to chase after Omar Giroud. And it's making it difficult for the Fury. A lot of times in NASL, teams will sit off them, you know, especially teams that have seen Ottawa play before. They like that possession game. They let them play a little bit more. There's an offside. Let them play a little bit more, whereas Rangers aren't doing that tonight. They're forcing the play to the Ottawa Fury, and the Fury right now on the back foot a little bit.
Dantas was offside there, Gord, but I believe the Fury FC may have unlocked something here. Dantas saw something, and maybe they'll go back to that play a little bit later.
Well, that seems to be right now the successful way for goal for them, is use the pace of Howarth and Maillard on the outside to try and get beyond the fullbacks for Rangers.
Here's Wallace. Wallace again, and Howard into touch. Nicky Law. Back for Mosney. Hillel Mosney. Back into the area. Headed away from Rangers FC, and back comes Ubi Parapovic for the Ottawa Fury FC, left side for Papush Maillard. Gets away from McGregor, gets upended. Free kick, Fury FC.
Well, McGregor, as he cut inside to the right-hand side, McGregor must just have left his leg in there. Here we see it close up. Yeah, just sort of trailed the left leg. Maillard didn't need much to go down. He went down. He's got the free kick, a very dangerous area now for the Ottawa Fury. And asking questions now of this Rangers back four. They're going to have to defend a set play in the defensive third. Cammy Bell barking out instructions there too. His line, Lee McCullough, just trying to hold it at the penalty spot area, not allowing the white and red shirts in behind him.
Does he curl it in at goal here, Gord?
Well, I mean, I think he's trying to hit the area where Carl Hayworth is standing right now, just about a yard away from the 6-yard box. A little too far for Cammy Bell to come. And obviously the blue shirts going back towards their own goal. Poor delivery. He's got to be better than that.
Ian Black for Rangers FC gets it back out to midfield. Richie Ryan, the Fury captain. Ubi Parapovic for Howard. Howard and McGregor battling along the end line. Goal kick.
Yeah, McGregor just using all his strength there to make sure Howard wasn't getting even close to that ball. In the end, the ball goes behind for a goal kick for the Rangers. Well, I thought we would have seen more substitutions by now by the Ottawa Fury. Certainly the Rangers, I think, want to try and, they've got a competitive match coming up on August 5th themselves. They've got a friendly against Derby County coming up, I believe, August 2nd. Their final pre-season game before the real work really starts.
This hasn't been a tremendous tour for them, Gordon.
Well, again, we did have a chance to talk to Coach McCoist earlier on this morning at practice, and we'll get some of his thoughts in our half-time show. But when you come to these sort of tours in North America or Australia, New Zealand, it's twofold. The first thing is to reward the fans that have watched games from overseas, paid to watch games on Rangers TV on a regular basis, the supporters clubs all over the world that are looking to see a little bit of the Rangers at some point in their own backyard, and that's obviously what we're seeing tonight. But second, it's all about fitness. It's all about working your way up to that first competitive game, and I think so far in this tour, yes, it didn't have the greatest of starts in Ventura, and then with the loss, and then 2 wins obviously now back to back, looking for a third one here tonight. They're slowly but surely getting better. A lot of the youngsters played against Victoria on Monday. So it's nice to see here in Ottawa most of what you would possibly look at outside of an injury or two, your starting 11 for Ali McCoist, and certainly Miller and Boyd up front. You've got a couple of strikers. Nicky Clark, who scored one of the goals the other night there, he's on the bench. Dean Shields, another striker that plays in that sort of withdrawn role that Kenny Miller's playing in right now, just behind Chris Boyd. So there's some options there. You've obviously got 1 or 2 injuries. Zaliukas, one of the off-season signings, he picked up an injury on Monday and he's out tonight as well. So I'm sure once McCoist gets his full squad back in, it'll be some tough decisions for him. Where players play and who plays where, and what's the best 11 he's got to put out there to play up the likes of Hibs and Hearts this season.
Mosney points to a spot. Wallace goes there and gets the ball. Back in. McLeod. McLeod and Ryan. Nice spin move by McLeod. Back out. There's the shot. And Nicky Law makes no mistake.
That's some finish, isn't it? But it's all down to the guile and the skill of Lewis McLeod. Absolutely wonderful play left. A couple of Fury players for dead. I'm not quite sure. I think maybe and McLeod was such a sublime piece of skill. Saw where the open man was at the edge of the box, and all Nicky Law had to do was just cushion the ball into the roof of that top right-hand corner to make the score. Rangers 1, Ottawa 0.
How pretty is this?
Oh, that's wonderful skill, isn't it? Richie Ryan just left for completely dead there, and as the ball's played back, a lovely shot by Nicky Law, and it's 1-0 for Rangers. There we see that piece of skill again, my goodness. Well, Lewis McLeod, he was out for a long period of time with a serious illness, viral infection around the muscles, around his heart, and it was touch and go whether his career would be on the rocks or not, and he's come back, and my goodness, one of the best talents that we've seen in Scottish football in a long time, and it's wonderful to see him in a blue shirt, as a Rangers supporter, to see him in a blue shirt of Rangers FC. Well, things are getting a little bit nippy out there now.
Well, no doubt Lewis McLeod just happy to be playing again.
Exactly. And that's why when some people question, well, your best position is central midfield. You know, why are you getting shunted out left? I don't think the young man really cares. He's just proud to pull on that blue shirt that hundreds and thousands of fans all over this world would love to be out there in the blue shirt himself.
Well, if he continues to do what he just did, there's no doubt that he'll be wearing that blue shirt for a long time. Papush Maillard able to clear that away. Howard can't get it away from Wallace. Wallace into the area, headed away by Giroud. McGregor all the way up. From his back position, it goes out. Rangers throw.
Yeah, I think McLeod's just 20, I believe, is his age. And I mean, for a young player to come in, to play at this level, to play, you know, in a stadium with 45, 50,000 every second week, it has to be quite the thrill for the young man. And he's got all the skill in the world. He's got the right temperament to go on and be an absolutely top-notch player. And I'm sure Coach McCoist will look to use him possibly in the next couple of years if they get up to the Premiership as one of the key players to play around.
Kenny Miller off the boot of Frisenga, and Pizer keeps it alive.
Yeah, I think he was trying to play that ball into the back post area at the edge of the 18-yard box. Gallagher was making a good run down that channel. Boyd had sucked in a couple of defenders in towards him. And just unfortunately, Kenny Miller couldn't get the final ball played across to the back post.
Giroud. Little difficulty at midfield with some assistance from the captain. Fury FC maintained possession only for a moment. Lee Wallace, first man back. Boy, you talk about fitness level, Gord. Rangers FC, Wallace has run miles in this first half.
Yeah, he's a machine, isn't he? I mean, just an absolute specimen of physical ability, talent, and to put it all together into the package. An absolute wonderful player for Rangers, and he, you know, alongside McCulloch, he was, when Rangers ran into their difficulties financially and were relegated down to the lowest tier of Scottish football, McCulloch and Wallace were two of the main men that stayed around, and he's been a wonderful servant for the Glasgow Rangers over these last 3 seasons, and I'm sure he will continue going forward. A wonderful player, wonderful talent. We did highlight those runs of his down this left-hand side before the game started, and my goodness, he hasn't disappointed us whatsoever.
And he's the first man back.
There you go.
Ryan
turned over there.
Some loose play, loses possession to McLeod. McLeod for Ian Black. Black for Wallace. Now watch him go. Lee Wallace. Wallace for McLeod. Off his boot, or make that Kenny Miller.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you watch Miller play. Some of the runs that he makes, he's one of the most intelligent players in this Rangers team, because he's able to see where the space is. He's able to feel the pressure, and he gets away. He gets that little shimmy away from defenders, and just that split second is all you need to get away and create some space for yourself. And unfortunately, that last one, it just didn't come off. Again, the Fury just getting now into playing these long balls, and I think, you know, Coach De Santos has to be a little bit concerned that they're getting away from their normal style of play. It's all about holding on to the ball, finding a teammate, and making sure you get some balls played not only in behind defenders but to feet as well. And unfortunately, right now for the Fury, it's gone a little bit pear-shaped in these last 10-15 minutes.
Another challenge by Nicky Law, averted by the Fury FC's Mason Trafford. The wall. And again, Dantas and Maillard not on the same page right now.
Yeah, Dantas has a tough go of it here. I mean, he came on at half-time against the New York Cosmos, and I thought he turned the tide a little bit for the Fury. He was a bull in the china shop. He was getting stuck in. He was making it difficult for the defenders to have any time on the ball, and I think he had a wonderful second half against the New York Cosmos.
At least the first 15 minutes.
But tonight, McCulloch and Mosney have just made it almost impossible for him to find any space. And I just wonder if Tom Heineman might come on at half-time. He's a big lad as well, with a little bit more height, maybe able to challenge for some of these long balls that are getting played forward. But right now, McCulloch and Mosney are mopping up quite easily.
Giroud. Donatelli. Back for Frisenga. That one stung him a little. And he's slow getting to his feet. Gets a pat on the back from Lewis McLeod. Cammy Bell will begin again for Rangers FC.
Well, a free kick there given against Chris Boyd. It looks like he had his hand up to Mason Trafford.
Trafford seems to be favoring his jaw.
Yeah, the referee just having a little word with Boyd, just asking him to calm things down. Trafford looks to be okay, none the worse for wear, as he leaves it for goalkeeper Pazer to right foot this.
Through ball, Soria can't catch up to it. But great marking there from Callum Gallagher. Again, the backs. They're the first men up the pitch. They're the first men back to defend.
And you obviously have to be in great physical condition, Dan, to be able to cover that much ground. I mean, Wallace here tonight, I mean, some of his sprints, his bursts have been, you know, of the 70, 80-yard variety, with or without the ball. And it's been wonderful to see that ability. A lot of times we talk about the Ottawa Fury in their games having to get their fullbacks into supporting positions, and sometimes it may not happen as often as Mark Dos Santos would like it to, but it can be very effective if you're committing bodies forward and you're able to be fit enough to get back into a defensive position. And that's a good weapon to have in your arsenal.
Look at the speed of Nicky Law pushing Pizer to get rid of the ball quickly. Howarth, again, 1 against 3 blue shirts around number 17 who had the ball and really didn't have much to do. And the first half comes to an end with the Glasgow Rangers FC leading the Ottawa Fury FC by 1-0 on a goal by Nicky Law in the 38th minute.
Yeah, a good first half by Rangers. I thought they controlled the game quite easily with regards to, you know, any attacking play that was coming down, mostly from this left-hand side. Wonderful first half by McLeod, by Wallace, and obviously Nicky Law with me right now off the top of the second half for either side. Rangers still in that 4-4-2 formation. The Fury with the 4-3-3, looking to get the ball into the service of Dantas up front.
And Vinny Dantas now for Ryan. Ryan back for Omar Giroud. Giroud back into the middle for Ryan. Not a lot of movement up front, but the ball comes to Sinisha Ubiparapovic, far side. Howard for Donatelli, too far for him. And Mosney steals it, loses it momentarily, spins away, and the ball trickles to Cammy Bell.
Yeah, he got a bit lucky there, Mosney, because I think he was expecting the goalkeeper to come for that. Keeper stayed on his line. I believe we have a substitution in the Rangers goal. I think that's Simonson, the goalkeeper for Rangers, has now replaced Cammy Bell. So both goalkeepers getting a run out here for Rangers. The only substitution that we can see for either team is Steve Simonson coming in goal, number 31. Simonson in place of Cammy Bell. So Cammy Bell with a clean sheet for his 45 minutes. Been interesting to see how Simonson fares in his 45.
And he's tested very, very early.
Yeah,
more action than Cammy Bell saw in the entire first half.
And I don't recall him getting an awful lot of games for Rangers last season. The only one I think he did play that of note was a game, a semi-final game against Dundee United in the Scottish Cup that unfortunately Rangers lost 3-1. And the third goal that sort of killed the match was a bit of a mistake by the goalkeeper. So unfortunate for him, he left the club and he's re-signed with the club. He left them and came back over the.
Pizer remains in goal. Will get some playing time in goal for the Fury FC. And all three of the backups getting some playing time in the stead of the man who has been in goal for the entire season for the Fury FC. Davala Goric gets a rest tonight.
Yeah, he does. He's just enjoying this match like everyone else is, and hopefully for the Fury, as they come out here in the second half, a little bit of energy, a little bit of purpose, and trying to get the ball forward a little bit quicker than they were doing a lot in that first half, where they tend to go side to side and back a lot more, looking to try and play the ball into the heart of the Rangers defence and give Mosney and McCulloch a little bit of work to do. Certainly a lot more than did in the first half, which was more or less just winning high balls and then getting the ball played into feet to Ian Black in front of them.
Maillard is taking off, and now the Fury forced back. Rangers FC not allowing them much room. And it's a timing issue as well, Gord. Fury FC just not used to being challenged so quickly by the opposition.
Well, a quick look there at the crowd. A wonderful attendance here tonight. 8,643. And I swear half of them are wearing red, white and blue for the Rangers. A wonderful turnout here in Ottawa, certainly by the Ottawa Fury faithful as well. A lovely crowd number.
With the cross, Mosley gets in the way. Excuse me, Gord.
No problem.
Ubi Patapovic looking for the far side. Howarth tried to get that back toward the goal with a bicycle effort, but it went off the side of his foot.
Well, a nice bright start inside these first 5 minutes of the second half for the Fury, trying to, as we said, press a little bit higher up the park. And if they can get the ball into the 18-yard box, cause a little bit of confusion in that back four of Rangers, who knows, they may be able to get a breakthrough and score their first ever goal in TD Place. They were unfortunately shut out on Sunday against the Cosmos. They had more than enough chances, it has to be said, just couldn't take them. And as we said, at any level that you play, if you're unable to finish, it's always going to be a tough game for you.
Kenny Miller doing a bit of the dirty work and called for the foul here.
Nicky Law does well to win it, but then as it goes in, Miller just using the strength, keeping the left arm out there, and Richie Ryan goes to ground, gets a free kick. Another turnover there in a dangerous area. Rangers going forward. 6 shots breaking through.
In black, moved that up for Nicky Law. Too far for him. Soria back for Pizer, and Pizer just kicks it into touch.
Well, there's that pressure again, though, up the park we talked about for Rangers, making sure they get forward. Nicky Law again, we saw once or twice in the first half, getting right in on the goalkeeper, causing Pizer to have to make a poor clearance, give a throw in midway inside their own half.
Davies comes in. Andres Frisenga gets a round of applause and a break. Here, Frisenga going a little over 50 minutes, and head coach Mark Dos Santos now wanting to just switch things up and perhaps change the momentum of things here in the second half.
Yeah, well, Philip Davies obviously started most of the season as an out-and-out, attacking player out wide on the right-hand side, and in a few games at the tail end of the season, we did see him go in to play it right back. He's very comfortable in that position, brings a lot of pace down that right-hand side, realises when to get in, support into attack, and I think that's something that maybe Coach Dos Santos might be looking for here tonight, offside.
Maillard
there.
Just one step, and Ian Black knew, Gallagher knew, the hands went up immediately, and then the flag went up.
Yeah, they did well, just holding the line, letting lines.
Series zone, Soria. Here's Ubi Patapovic with another through ball. Dantas after it. Dantas has some room! Just kicks it wide! Best chance of the night for the Fury FC, and Dantas comes up empty.
Well, Mosney is absolutely livid. He felt that he was pushed in the back inside the 18-yard box. Well, just a little shrug of the shoulder there. Two players come together. Mosney just easily goes to ground, and Dantas, well, unlucky with that shot into the bottom right-hand corner, just inches away from tying this match up. Vinny Dantas already holds the distinction of the first ever goal for the Ottawa Fury in the game at Tarleton University. In the first game against Minnesota United, it would have been a feather in his cap to score the first ever goal for the Ottawa Fury at TD Place, but it wasn't to be. Still, Rangers 1, Ottawa 0. 53.5 minutes gone in this match here tonight.
Richie Ryan again up the middle for Ubi Patapovic. Dantas back for Ubi Patapovic now. Up for Donatelli, couldn't hold on to the pass, and it rolls to Simonson.
Well, the thing that's happening right now with the Ottawa Fury is they're moving the ball at a far quicker rate of pace than they were in the first half. The ball's getting to feet a lot quicker. Players are looking up, seeing where the options are, and making sure they're getting the ball quickly into the attacking third. We didn't see it the first half. We've seen it here in these 7 minutes, 8 minutes of the second half. Nicer play here by the Ottawa Fury.
Free kick awarded Rangers FC, and again, not wasting any time, Ian Black. McLeod gets it back at midfield. Lee McCulloch. McCulloch for Gallagher. Callum Gallagher. The pass behind McLeod. Taken by Ubi Parapovic. Dropped down for Trafford. Trafford just up for Ryan. Ryan pushed from behind by McLeod and gets the free kick.
Again, though, three blue shots pressuring Mason Trafford and Richie Ryan as they try to get the ball cleared out of the defensive third. Good work there. Unfortunately for McLeod, just comes through the back of Richie Ryan. An easy call for the official. Again, good high line pressure by the Ottawa Fury, by the Rangers, not allowing Ottawa Fury players any time on the ball in that defensive third.
Ubi Parapovic. Far side for Howard. Or make that Davies. Davies for Howard. Howard into the area, quickly cleared away by McCulloch. Giroud back. Ryan just plays it all the way back for Pizer. Pizer back to midfield. Donatelli getting back on side. Another loose ball. Dantas after it. McCulloch plays it back for Simonson. Simonson. Boyd could make a play. Black. Mosney. Far side, too far from McLeod on the throw.
Yeah, slight ball there by Mosney. Another substitution now, number 3. Mason Trafford will be going off, and Mike on the left back coming in. So a little bit of a shuffle here for the Ottawa Fury. I wonder if Soria will just slide in to centre back and allow Mike on to play his normal attacking left back down this near flank. Yeah, that looks how they're going to set up. Soria will just slide in alongside Giroud, and Maicon will take up the left back spot in that back four for the Ottawa Fury.
Mason Trafford is going to think he had a day off from his work week. He's like he had Friday afternoon off. He normally plays the full 90.
Yeah, he's had a wonderful debut season here for the Ottawa Fury. Mason has, and he's one of those players that just, you know, the type of effort you're going to get out of the lad every single time. You know, it's going to be a 100% honest effort. And you know, the more that you get of those type of players in your lineup, the better you're going to be. And it's nice to see him getting a chance to run out against Rangers and get a good 60 minutes, 56 minutes as far as how his evening went. Now gets a well-deserved rest as he looks ahead to Carolina coming up this weekend.
Maillard with Maicon in support, elected to go back into the middle as McGregor moved over defensively to take that pass away from Maicon. Soria back for Pizer. Pizer to midfield. Howarth. Here's Maillard. Tried to knock it down from the chest. Ryan being challenged by Black. Ryan. Chip to the outside, near side for Maicon. Maicon trying to get away against Gallagher. Tripped up by Gallagher. Nice tackle, forcing the ball away from the Brazilian national. Donatelli into the middle. Dantas takes the foul from McCulloch, and it's a free kick awarded, and it looks like McCulloch might be getting a yellow card.
Yeah, it was a bit of a wild tackle there on Dantas as he'd come away with the ball. The referee will have a word with McCulloch. Not quite sure if he is going to book him, but here we see the ball played in by Richie Ryan. There it is to Dantas. Well, just a mistimed tackle, I think, more than anything else. I didn't see a yellow card coming out for that, but Dantas did well to get in there first, nick the ball away from McCulloch, and unfortunately McCulloch on the follow through. But another dangerous free kick now for the Ottawa Fury.
Maicon into the area, headed right on goal by Maillard. Simonson there to gather it up.
Well, they couldn't have met that any sweeter, Dan. It was a perfect header. Absolutely wonderful contact with it, and Simonson just in the right place at the right time. An easy save, that has to be said, as far as his positioning. Good positioning by the goalkeeper, but Maillard did ever so well attacking that ball. Look at the header, nice powerful header, and Simonson with an easy stop in the end. But a wonderful delivery, left-footed by the Ottawa Fury into the box, hit with pace, hit with a little bit of curve, and all Mayer really had to do was get a good pushing on it, good touch on it. And it almost flew into the back of the net. Oh.
Just missing again! Nicky Law looking for his second of the night.
Well, that's the one thing about Nicky Law. We've seen it all in his Rangers career last year, as he's able to get into advanced positions, and he does well. Chris Boyd does a lovely job of knocking it forward. Law stays onside, decides to take it a little bit earlier. I thought he possibly could have let it run a little bit further past him as the goalkeeper was coming out, and in the end screws it well wide, a few feet of that left-hand post. But Rangers' first real effort here in this second half. That'll be a free kick. Well, again, Dantos and McCulloch come together. Dantos trying to just let McCulloch know that, you know, I'm here, I'm not going to go away. You're going to have a bit of a physical second half coming up. There's a handball. I don't think that was the assistant referee that gave that. I think it was the referee himself that spotted that handball.
Mycon's appealing to the assistant on the sideline.
It's not going to make any difference. You can appeal to whoever you want. Once that whistle's gone, when everybody starts to make their way into that 18-yard box, the referee's not making any changes to his decision. This will be Lee Wallace, left-footed probably.
Dangerous situation for the Ottawa Fury FC.
Yeah, and when that ball gets played in the back of the white shirts lined up at the 18-yard box, they're running towards their goal. Any slight deflection will take it beyond the goalkeeper. They've got to be very careful that it's not out and not back towards their own goal.
Wallace gets set, chips that into the area, and again, free kick awarded Fury FC, and they dodge yet another bullet.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was against Mosney or if it was against McCulloch, but McCulloch just showing the referee that his shirt was pulled all the way down around his stomach area almost, and the referee's having none of it. Well, good defensive header there by Soria. He was getting put under a little bit of pressure by Rangers, and he had to make sure that he was putting that ball out of the danger area. Kenny Miller taking a quick corner kick.
McLeod, far post, Soria goes up, McCulloch goes up, wins that, looking for the handball, but it goes away, and the Fury FC. Ubi Parapovic tripped up, looking for a call, none forthcoming.
Yeah, guys, there was problems at the back. Rangers didn't have the numbers to defend, and he had to make a decision to go into ground and make the stop, and he did very well, and unfortunately for the Ottawa Fury, that's the trouble. He's going to get booked for that. That was just silliness.
Davies.
Yeah, there's no need to be just kicking the ball. Yeah, you're frustrated. The free kick's been given against you, son, but you've got to just suck it up. There's no point in being silly and giving the referee. I mean, he's got to make the call with the yellow card. Now we see another substitution coming on, and it is Nicky Patterson on that far side coming in to make his debut in place of number 14, Tony Donatelli. So mark this down.
Donatelli's been very, very quiet since he was booked in the first half.
Yeah, it was a bit of a rash challenge for him, and he did get it called. Here the free kick comes in. McCulloch, I think it was handball, and there's Davis a little bit of petulant there, kicking it away, and the referee again just going to ground. And here is Nicky Patterson, as we said, coming in. It's been so long that he's been out since April. 3 months, and he's now back in a Fury shirt, and I'm sure Coach Mark Dos Santos is hoping that these final 28-29 minutes gets him ready for Saturday.
To the area, Giroud heads it away. With Pizer going for the ball at the same time, that could have been dangerous. Another opportunity, Kenny Miller offside. Well,
some of the Rangers players are getting very frustrated here at decisions. Not necessarily going for them, but some of the calls that they feel the referee might be missing. And they don't want the game to be descending into any sort of issues along those lines. It's been played in a high spirit. Both teams certainly giving as good as they get, but you don't want to see anything come of that.
Miller, left foot, wide of the target, and the Fury get away with another one.
Yeah, it didn't really get good contact on. They took up a good position in a channel there down that left-hand side when the ball broke into the 18-yard box. Just tries to use Giroud as a bit of a screen possibly, and in the end screws the shot well wide of that right-hand post.
Pizer, Papouche Maillard went up. Ian Black went up. Maillard thought there was going to be a call. Soria, Maillard, Mycon, Nicky Law, All the way to the far side for Wallace, and here's another one of those patented Lee Wallace runs. Wallace taken out. Good defensive play there by Davies. Is he getting booked again?
No, it's one of the few times, though, we've seen Wallace with a charge down that left-hand side. He certainly thought he was barged out of the play by Davies. Certainly McCoy's did, as we see him there having a look at the referee. Well, I mean, Davies was just trying and keep his position, and unfortunately for Rangers, McCoy's having a good chuckle with the fourth official. Here's Chad Bush, now coming in to make his Ottawa Fury FC debut. Well, Bush is a graduate of the Ottawa Fury youth program, and it's nice to see the youngster getting handed his debut here against the mighty Rangers FC.
No doubt chomping at the bit to get in.
He certainly will be. I mean, and it was a good period as well for Ramón Soria to get in and, you know, obviously get his feet wet as far as playing with his new teammates. Ottawa Fury, as we said, now have 4 goalkeepers. I'm not quite sure how much longer Coach de Santos is going to go with the 4 of them, but he obviously can't keep them all happy. I mean, certainly Chad Bush has been looked at as the 3rd string goalkeeper as far as the season goes, but it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in the fall season.
That's an important roster spot when you've been dealing with the amount of injuries that Dos Santos has had to deal with so far this season.
Yep.
So in the spring, and we're not even into the 2nd game of the fall season yet.
Yep.
Davies. Up for it will be Parapovic. Davies. Giroux. Richie Ryan. Ruby Parapovic just left that for Howard, and it didn't work out.
Well, for all the success they had in the first half down this left-hand side in front of us, the second half the Rangers really haven't had an opportunity to get Wallace and McLeod involved. I don't know if it's just the service has dried up and nothing's really working for them down the left-hand side, but it really hasn't been what we saw in the first half, that energy and drive that we were seeing from both Wallace and McLeod.
Gallagher tried to move it inside for Black. Black a little upset, and then another through ball down the left side for number 23.
Well, that's consistent officiating there by the referee, because we saw earlier on Davies down that right-hand side where the player ran into him, much similar to here. Ramaya just runs into McGregor, albeit McGregor does have the left arm out, but the referee decides that was along the same vein as the one at the other end, and let's play continue. But Ottawa Fury now slowly but surely bringing on a procession of substitutions.
Rega Aguram, number 23, his first action of the season. And coming into the match once again, Mauro Estaquio. And Richie Ryan, the captain, will get a rest. So Mark Dos Santos allowing everybody to experience playing the Rangers FC.
You know, it's nice to look back at the tail end of your career, and for a lot of these players, this will be the highest level that they will get to, is the NASL. So when you're able to play in an international friendly in front of almost 600 people, you know, it's a thrill, and you may not get as much NASL playing time as you want to get out here on a glorious evening here in the nation's capital, to be able to play in front of this crowd, you know, opposing fans, local fans. It's wonderful. And when you look back, as we said, at the tail end of your career, it's nice to be able to say, yeah, you played against the mighty Glasgow Rangers.
McLeod with some lovely footwork once again for Nicky Law. McLeod through ball offside was Boyd.
Yeah, Giroux did well just to hold his ground there. Boyd must have come in from a position behind Giroux as that ball was played in. Certainly didn't look offside at the time, but
here's Maicon on the left side. Again, Gallagher, as good as he's been offensively here, very, very solid defensively on that movement, that ball movement to the near side in an attempt by the Fury FC, Gord, to open things up a little.
Yeah, he's had to make sure his defensive responsibilities have been just as good as his offensive, and that's what he's done, especially in the first half. And in the second half, the game for Rangers kind of settled into a little bit of a lull. We possibly need a substitution or two just to bring a little bit of spark, possibly bringing on a Nicky Clark up front, maybe a Dean Shields. David Templeton, a lot of skill out in the wide positions to get in there and really make a difference.
Numbers for the Rangers. Black, blocked, loose ball, offside.
I cannot see how that would have been offside. I mean, we're going to have to hopefully get a better look at it, but Kenny Miller absolutely beside himself as to how that could have been offside. Kenny Black with the shot at the edge of the 18-yard box. I mean, Miller had to, if he was going to be offside, he would have had to have been. Well, we're probably not going to see it from here. No, there is absolutely no way when that shot was taken by Ian Black, that Kenny Miller was in offside position. I'm sorry, but that was a miss. That was a good goal. Miller definitely appeared to make sure he stayed behind Jeroen when the shot was taken. When the reflection came up and off, he still seemed to be in an onside position. And unfortunately for Rangers, it still stays at 1-0 as they go to chase a second goal. Kenny Black with a nice break, good tack. Ian Black, with a good break in central midfield. Going forward, I thought he possibly could have spread the ball to Boyd either on the right or Miller down the left. Decided to take a shot. Defender did well to get in and block it. And we obviously saw what happened on the offside call, no goal. But good work by Miller just to continue going forward and making sure that, as all good strikers should be doing, keep going towards goal.
As Takeo mauled, here's another look, Gord, at the positioning. So as the ball goes, it deflects.
Yeah, right there. I mean, that's at least a half a yard onside. There is absolutely no way that Kenny Miller, from that angle that we can see, is in an offside position. He's at least half a yard onside behind Omar Jeroen, who was playing him on in the middle of the park. So Kenny Miller, every reason to be quite upset with that offside call.
Estaquio, or make that Vinny Dantas. Still after the ball. Gallagher lets it go out. Rangers FC throw. Nicky Law on it quickly. In for Gallagher. Callum Gallagher for Nicky Law. For Miller. Gallagher, Miller in the area. Miller, far post, too high for Boyd. The header just over the net.
A lovely play though by Rangers down this right hand side. Gallagher, a lovely little ball chipped up and over for Kenny Miller. Down the right channel into the 18-yard box. He got behind Soria. Here we see a 1-2, a lovely ball clipped in, and there's Kenny Miller looking at the back post area. Coming in, Lewis McLeod just can't get above the ball and it goes high. And unfortunately, over the crossbar for Rangers, they can't add to this 1-0 lead that they nurse right now.
Gallagher chips that through. Here's Maicon for the Ottawa Fury FC, still trailing 1-0 on a goal by Nicky Law in the 38th minute.
72 minutes gone. It looks like Rangers are going to make at least one substitution. Not quite sure if it's a second one warming up over there, but there will be at least one substitute coming in for Rangers after 73 minutes. On that far side, it looks as if it's possibly number 20, Kyle Hutton, coming into central midfield.
Howard takes a bump from McCulloch, and they both go down. Play continued. Simonson sent the ball into touch to stop the play, and the training staffs of both teams will have to come onto the pitch here and tend to the wounded.
Well, the Rangers captain staying on the ground, and it looks like, is that Howarth you said? I can't quite see the number.
Howarth and
Rangers,
McCulloch.
Yeah, nice to see. Looks like Howarth getting his left ribs, possibly.
McCulloch favoring the right shoulder.
Yeah. Well, they battled the hardened veteran for Rangers. He's played in all sorts of different positions. He's played as striker for Rangers. He's played central midfield for Rangers. He's played at the back for Rangers. I don't quite think he's ever played in goal for Rangers, but I'm sure if he was asked, he would. Wonderful servant for the club alongside Lee Wallace. Here we see this challenge here. The two of them come together. Well, McCulloch going for the ball. Haworth just sort of stops in his tracks I'm not quite sure if he
got
possibly
the
got
right knee.
Yeah, I think he got the right knee in the ribs there possibly, and he went to ground, because there's a good opportunity if he stayed on his feet. He may have been able to get in and get a shot on target here. But here is a substitution now. Number 8, Ian Black, going off for Rangers, and it is number 20, Kyle Hutton, coming in for Ali McCoist. A like-for-like swap, central midfield. Kyle Hutton, another one of the youngsters that's out here tonight for Rangers. So Hutton will just take that role alongside Nicky Law in central midfield for Ian Black. And he's had a good game. I thought Ian Black, he battled hard in central midfield. He made it difficult for Richie Ryan to get involved in the game as much as you'd like to see if you're Mark Dos Santos. And, you know, got involved in a couple of little incidents where cooler heads prevailed, and had a nasty tackle there, obviously, when Donatelli slid into him early in that first half, or midway through the first half.
Opportunity for the Fury FC, but McGregor clears it away. Maicon away from his numerical counterpart, Nicky Law, and then number 20, Kyle Hutton, wasted no time getting into the match. Here's Estaquillo. Gets it back at midfield. Over for Nicky Patterson. Patterson for Papouche Maillard. Maillard across. In behind the play. Davies. Davies inside. Gets the return feed. Comes across. Dantas knocks it down.
Oh, nice piece of skill there by Dantas, but a lovely break down the right-hand side. The ball switched out. As it came into the 18-yard box, Dantas decided not to take it early, chested it down, set up himself for the shot, and in the end blasts it wide off that right-hand post. But a lovely bit of skill clipped in. Dantas, there he is, spins on it. Lots of venom in the shot, just couldn't direct it on target. And in the end it screws about 2 or 3 feet high and wide of the Rangers goal. Still 1-0 for Rangers FC. Kenny Miller on the challenge.
Davies. Push up the right side, Howard. And it's knocked out by Mosney. And Ottawa throw. Dantas, there's a handball in the area off McGregor. It appeared, but play continues. Simonson with the long clear. Kenny Miller unable to make a play. Back come the Fury. Estaquillo back for Davies. Far side for Howard. Giroud, who's played almost 77 minutes of this one. Ramón Soria, who started, has gone all the way. Chad Bush with the clear to midfield. McCullough heads it right back into Fury FC side of midfield. Dantas. Estaquillo. Far side for Davies. Davies looks down the flank, comes back into the middle. Patterson allows that to go to Maicon. Maicon into the middle. Dantas, or make that Aguirre. All the way to the far side. Davies. Davies in for Dantas. Here's Patterson. Patterson still on his feet with it. Into the corner. Howarth headed away by Mosney. It'll be an Ottawa corner.
Well, Patterson really trying to drive this team forward from an offensive standpoint, coming a little bit deeper from an attacking position, trying to get the ball at his feet, spread the ball out wide to both sides, and in the end, as the ball played out wide, a nice ball clipped in again, and Mosney with the final clearance at the edge of the 6-yard box, out for another corner kick.
First
corner kick for the Fury here tonight, yes.
So Papouche Maillard gets a break, and
Kenny Caceros, number 16.
Kenny Caceros, who has played at every level in this city professionally that you could.
Lewis McLeod cleared the way.
Miller moves the ball to the open wing, trying to get around Davies with some help of Nicky Law. Law in support, drops that off. McLeod with the chip for Chris Boyd. Fury FC again. Here's Maicon.
Well, Nicky Law caught that in the face there.
hand?
Yeah, I think he got maybe a fist in the face. I don't think it was anything intentional by his opposite number 7, but it did seem to catch him on the side of the head. There's some more substitutions now coming in for Rangers. Number 22, Dean Shields, will be coming on in place of Chris Boyd, number 15.
But Nicky Law stays in.
Yeah.
Here's another look, Gord.
There we see it.
Just a hand across
Yeah,
the
just
throat.
hands across the throat. Nothing, as we said, malicious there at all.
And also into the match, Stephen Smith coming in for Callum Gallagher.
Yeah, Dean Shields I think that will just push Kenny Miller forward into the role that Chris Boyd had been playing, the lone striker up front almost, and Shields will just fill in behind him.
So the regular substitution rules don't apply in a friendly.
No, not at all. You're allowed to make as many as you want. Both teams obviously have to agree to it. I mean, if one team had wanted to stick to the 3 or 4 or 5 substitutions, then that's what it would be. But on a night like tonight, a friendly like tonight, a nice occasion like tonight, you'd want to get as many players involved as possible. Steve Smith, who's normally an out-and-out left back, in some occasions has played in this position just wide left in front of Lee Wallace. As he is here tonight, Wallace staying in at fullback.
There's a nice spin away from a challenge. Fury FC Patterson. Patterson with it chipped through for Dantas. He was onside and Simonson had to be alert for Rangers FC.
He's a big lad coming forward though, the goalkeeper. I wouldn't want him to be barreling down on me. And a ball that's played in, a 50-50 ball, Dantas just steps away, lets Simonson take it in the end. A fairly routine stop for a big keeper. Well, as both teams sort of make changes, you lose a little bit of a rhythm, you lose a little bit of that team shape that you've had that's worked so well for you over the course of the first 70 some odd minutes. Lewis McLeod has moved over here to this right hand side to allow Stevie Smith to go in wide on the left.
Hutton for McLeod. McLeod's onside! Great stuff by Chad Lewis!
A terrific call, but the Ottawa Fury are looking at the assistant referee on this near side, looking for an offside call. It didn't come, and in the end a wonderful strike by McLeod. It's a lovely ball, diagonal, switched over the back 4. McLeod, well, when the ball arrived he certainly appeared in an offside position, but originally the assistant referee, oh my goodness, that it does look as if it may have been offside, right enough.
McLeod, maybe that's payback. Miller, and off the arm of Miller, and
well, I mean,
he's not happy with the call.
Well, I mean, it was called a handball against him. When he ricocheted the ball off the defender, it came back within a millisecond. How was he supposed to get his arm out of the way? It's ball to hand. He didn't intentionally put his hand to the ball. So again, the referee making a decision that Kenny Miller not overly happy with, but we've just got to go on with it. There's 82 minutes gone here in this match. Can the Ottawa Fury score not only the tying goal here this evening, but to get their first ever goal in TD Place? They weren't able to do it against the Cosmos on Sunday. They battled away for 83 minutes here tonight. 1 or 2 close efforts. Nothing so far. Maicon
from well out, looking far post. Davies trying to keep it alive with Lee Wallace right there to challenge. Ball back out. Mosley clears that away. Estaquillo. Dean Shields on him.
A good tackle by Shields, just sticks with it. Gets the counter attack going the other way for Rangers.
Here's McLeod. McLeod spinning away. Great move on Howard to maintain possession of the ball. Timing and technique absolutely sublime.
Yeah, almost similar to the first half of the goal, wasn't it? Kyle Hutton just caught in possession there as central midfield. Stevie Smith on that far side wide open. And here's a break now for the Fury.
Dantas chipping that in for Omar Jaroun. Dantas taken down, no call. And Rangers FC offside. Miller again. He'll be shaking his head. He's been doing that quite a bit this evening.
Well, he's, as I said, now that he's playing the lone striker role up front, he's just trying to time his run perfectly on the shoulder of that last defender. And here we see McLeod again just dancing away. There it is, right foot spin, left foot drag, and that's just a wonderful piece of skill. It's the second time he's shown us that tonight. You almost have to expect it now if you're the Ottawa Fury. That's what he's going to do. Just hold your ground, don't get sucked in, don't get pulled towards him. A dangerous free kick now coming up.
And Howarth, McLeod exchanging no pleasantries.
Yeah,
you see
nothing
Carl
at all
Howard.
there. No, he wasn't happy with the free kick. He thought it was manhandled a little too easily there. And again, Rangers have to do some defending here. Maicon looking, well, the ball's not going to be coming in from Maicon. It will be right-footed Philip Davis. Maicon making a run down the left.
Davies looks far post. Simonson, the big keeper, got up and got a hand in the way over top of good. Not only his defenders, but the Ottawa Fury attackers.
Very good goalkeeping.
Here's Giroud. Giroud inside for Soria. Couldn't beat Wallace to the ball. And it's a goal kick.
Well, they did well to win that first header, knock it down back into the danger area. Just nobody could catch up with it. Lee Wallace, I think, was the closest Rangers player. But again, a lovely ball clipped through. I think that's Giroud that wins it, knocks it across. And it just runs beyond Soria on that far side. Lee Wallace eventually just playing it off. Vinny Dantas on the far side for a goal kick for Rangers. We're inside the final 5 minutes now of the 90. There probably will be at least, I'm saying, 3 or 4 minutes added on because of all the substitutions that we have had here tonight.
Rangers.
That's at least 4 yards offside. But a lovely little check, a lovely little layoff by Kenny Miller playing it forward. I think if Nicky Law had been able to see the run of Shields had taken him well offside, he may have decided to go himself. There's all sorts of space down that right channel.
Should the Ottawa Fury FC come away empty-handed in this one, Gord, that will mark the 4th game in a row that the Fury FC have been shut out. Is there cause for concern?
Well, you know, in a game like tonight, you've created maybe 1 or 2 chances, a couple of half chances, nothing, you know, that you could look at it and say real glorious opportunities where somebody missed a sitter or it really should have been a goal. But I think that the biggest thing is that you look at Sunday's game and you created, I mean, upwards of, I think I lost count after 6 or 7, the number of chances that they did have against the Cosmos has to be something that Coach Dos Santos will build on more than the effort here tonight. Yes, there's been a lot of desire, there's been a lot of good, you know, hard tackling going in by the Fury, certainly as you would expect the game to be played. But in front of goal, I'm sure, you know, if you're not creating the chances, that's when you start to ask the questions, and they are creating the opportunities for their strikers. Just unfortunate, Heinemann, Dantas unable to score on the weekend, and we'll have to see how things go against Carolina. Keep in mind, it was Carolina that the Fury won their first ever game against.
Back into the area for Nicky Law. It goes out. Goal kick.
Yeah, Law thought that was a corner kick. He didn't get enough on it. He thought it possibly got deflected off a defender. And a good break. Nick Shields plays it back nicely for him. Well, we thought Omar Giroud slid in and played it off. Didn't really see an awful lot in it there for the referee to make a decision. The assistant referee would obviously have been better placed to make the call. McGregor does well to win the header.
Patterson for Howarth. Howarth, nice move on McGregor. Howarth tries to chip that through. Mosney heads it back out. Nicky Law back for McCulloch to midfield. Certainly good movement, good ball movement by the Fury FC between the 18-yard boxes, Gord. They're just having a little bit of difficulty when you get into the heavier traffic.
Yeah, the final third, the final tiling ball, isn't it? That quality that's needed to find a teammate inside 18 yards. Been few and far between for the Ottawa Fury here this evening. They've worked hard. They've tried to close Rangers down in key areas of the park, but I just think they've been a little bit second best as far as creating opportunities and creating chances for players like Dantas and certainly Nicky Patterson since he's come in here in the second half.
Howarth for Dantas. Dantas well out, chips that one through. Agaram moves that back. Maicon tries to tee it up, gets the shot away wide.
Yeah, Rangers did a good job. With 3 blue shots in front of him there. I mean, if he was going to get it beyond those 3 bodies, it was going to be into the roof of the net. They ever see shots of the crowd once again. A very, very good crowd. A wonderful turnout by not only Rangers fans, but Ottawa Fury fans, as we see Maicon's shot flash well wide of that left-hand post. And it is another final substitution coming in, number... Well, we're just looking to see who that is. 17 and 35 are the 2 numbers. Carl Hayworth coming off, but I'm not quite sure who 35 is. We don't have it on our score sheet. Sorry,
Number
26.
26.
I thought there was 35 on the other side.
Jacob Schroeder, a new addition.
Coming in and getting, as you said, the final 5-6 minutes here, which I'd assume we'd have with injury time. 4 minutes being added on, we're being told, so that's nice for these fans to get another 4 more minutes of their heroes in blue, or
Miller.
the heroes in red and white, depending on who you're supporting tonight.
There's Miller. And another foul. Kenny Miller is going to be shaking his head all the way back to Scotland.
Well, you think he's probably saying, you think Scottish referees are bad? I think the referees have tried to do as good as they can. It was tough because after about 20-25 minutes, some niggly fouls started to come into play.
Dantas for Schroeder, can't get there. Simonson well out of the goal to gather it up, and Jacob Schroeder almost made a contribution very quickly.
Yeah, lovely ball by Dantas there, and unfortunately for the youngster, just couldn't get there ahead of Simonson. But a nice, good vision by Dantas. Lovely weight in the ball. Simonson just realises the danger that McGregor needed some help. Did well to get out and make the stop.
Schroeder. Maicon. Maicon loses control. Shields. Nicky Law. Law. But the only goal of this match coming at the 38-minute mark. A beautiful feed from Lewis McLeod. And that's all that Rangers FC needed so far. Chad Bush with the long clear for Patterson. He takes a bump from McGregor. And the ball comes to Maicon at midfield. There's Schroeder. Schroeder working around McLeod. Back for Maicon into the middle for Agaram. Estaquillo all the way out to the far side. Caceros into the area. Dantas knocked down by Patterson. He puts it in, but it will not count.
Yeah, there's a free kick given against Dantas there on McCulloch, and as the ball was played down to the edge, the 18-yard box. Well, hopefully for the Ottawa Fury fans, that's the sign of things to come. A wonderful finish by Nicky Patterson. Yeah, just a left arm there, pushing the back with Dantas on McCulloch, but a lovely right-footed finish by Nicky Patterson, and unfortunately for the Ottawa Fury, that first elusive goal at TD Place still not here for them. Might have to wait another couple of weeks. I think it's Fort Lauderdale as the next team coming in here to TD Place on August the 9th.
Here's Maicon. Schroeder. McLeod. McLeod for Law. Law back for Shields as Rangers just trying to kill this one off.
Yeah, they pretty much did all the hard work, haven't they? A wonderful goal in the first half. McLeod setting up Nicky Law for a lovely goal. And I think over the course of the 90 minutes, Rangers have been the better of the two teams, Dan. They've been able to get the goal. They've kept possession quite nicely. Couldn't really bring Boyd into the play as much as I'm sure they wanted to. Kenny Miller got involved, but frustrated with some decisions going against him. When the two at the back, McCulloch and Morsney, looked very comfortable throughout the course of the 90 minutes. So a good run out, a good finish for Ali McCoy, Stan, his Rangers team at the tail end of their North American tour, and we wish them all the best in their upcoming season. We certainly wish the Ottawa Fury all the best in their next game coming up in Carolina on Saturday.
Kenny Caceros gets booked as time runs out here. Steve Smith, the offended party. And Caceros basically got in the way. Matthew Bourdeau, the referee. Shields with one last rush.
That was a slight ball there. Now a counter-attack here down this left-hand side.
Here's Schroeder. Schroeder for Dantas. Dantas with a last gasp for the Fury FC here to try to get on the board. Maicon from well out. Far post. It comes down and it's cleared away by Lee Wallace. Here's Miller. Miller one-on-one with Ramón Soria. Kenny Miller. Can he get past him? Soria holds his ground nicely.
The break still on.
Miller for McLeod. McLeod chips it over far post. Caceros heads it away. And this one is over. On behalf of Chris Messina, Gordon Smith, and our entire Rogers TV crew, I'm Dan Mooney. Thanks so much for the company. The Ottawa Fury FC lose a close one to the Glasgow Rangers FC. Thanks so much for watching. So long from TD Place.